Integrity is the foundation upon which every meaningful life is built. It is not simply a virtue among many, but the very essence of who we are when everything else is stripped away. Success, fame, and wealth can dazzle and distract, but they are fleeting. Integrity, however, endures. It defines how we see ourselves when the lights are off and the crowd is gone. It is the unseen anchor that keeps us steady when life shakes us with its storms. Without integrity, nothing else holds its value for long. The applause fades, the recognition dims, the money is spent, but the quiet knowledge of whether we stayed true to what we believe never leaves us. Integrity is not measured in public gestures or grand announcements. It is shaped in the small, private decisions that most people will never see. It is found in the choice to tell the truth when a lie would be easier, in keeping a promise when breaking it would benefit us, in acting with kindness even when we gain nothing in return. The real measure of who we are lies in those quiet moments when no one is watching. It is in those moments that we reveal our truest selves. Doing the right thing when no one notices might feel insignificant, yet it is those small choices that form the very bedrock of character. Shortcuts and compromises tempt us, especially when we think no one will ever find out. The world often presents opportunities to bend our values for immediate gain, and it can seem harmless at first. But each compromise chips away at something greater than money or recognition. It erodes our own sense of self-respect. Integrity demands that we stand firm even when the world is not watching, that we hold to principles not for applause, but because they matter. Each decision to do right strengthens us. Each choice to remain honest builds a foundation strong enough to carry us through life. Integrity becomes not only the way others can trust us, but the way we can trust ourselves. When integrity takes root in private moments, it transforms public life as well. It spills into how we treat others, how we build relationships, how we pursue goals, and how we handle adversity. A person who nurtures integrity in solitude carries an invisible strength with them everywhere. They may not always be praised, but they carry peace of mind and the confidence that their lives are built on truth. And in the end, that quiet strength becomes their greatest source of stability. Trust is the natural fruit of integrity. In every sphere of life, whether in business, friendship, or family, trust is the currency that makes relationships thrive. Without trust, connections collapse, words lose meaning, promises lose weight, and relationships fall apart. Integrity sustains trust because it ensures consistency between what is said and what is done. When actions reflect words, when promises are kept even when it costs us, when truth is spoken without manipulation, people learn that they can rely on us. That reliability becomes the invisible bond holding relationships together. Trust is fragile. It can take years to build, but only a single dishonest act to destroy. This is why integrity matters so deeply. It protects trust. A lie may grant temporary relief or advantage, but it leaves behind cracks in the foundation of connection. Once broken, trust is difficult, sometimes impossible, to rebuild. Integrity, on the other hand, strengthens trust each time it is chosen, layering stone upon stone until the foundation is unshakable. The presence of integrity creates safety in relationships. People know where they stand, they know words carry meaning, they know promises have value. This security deepens bonds and allows for vulnerability, collaboration, and love to flourish. In workplaces, it creates environments of respect where individuals can depend on each other. In friendships, it creates loyalty. In families, it creates stability across generations. When integrity becomes the core of how we live, the ripple effect is profound. Living without integrity leaves the opposite mark. It erodes trust, creates suspicion, and breeds fear. People become guarded, defensive, and distant. Dishonesty may produce short-term gain, but the long-term cost is isolation. The respect and closeness we seek vanish when integrity is absent. In this sense, integrity is not merely a virtue, but a necessity for meaningful relationships. To live without it is to live without depth. To live with it is to gain the respect and love that truly matter. Yet, living with integrity is not always the easy road. In fact, it often requires extraordinary courage. Life is full of moments where compromise seems appealing, where dishonesty feels safer, where bending values could open doors. The pressure to conform or the temptation to gain can push us toward choices we know in our hearts are wrong. It is in these moments that integrity is tested most fiercely. Courage becomes the companion of integrity. It takes courage to be honest when dishonesty would protect us, to keep our word when breaking it would benefit us, to act with kindness when bitterness feels justified. It takes courage to stand firm when others push us to bend, to remain truthful when lies surround us, to uphold values even when they cost us opportunities or relationships. These moments are rarely easy, but they shape who we are. Each act of courage strengthens our character and deepens our legacy. The path of integrity may lead through hardship. It may mean losing opportunities, facing criticism, or standing alone. But it is precisely this difficulty that gives integrity its power. Anyone can act with honesty when the reward is clear and the cost is low. But when we remain true in the face of opposition, we demonstrate a strength that commands respect. It is through adversity that integrity is proven. We must also remember that integrity does not require perfection. We all stumble, we all make mistakes, we all fall short at times. Integrity is not about never failing. It is about how we respond when we do. It is about admitting mistakes instead of hiding them, about choosing truth over cover-ups, about learning and returning to the path we know is right. Humility is part of integrity, and it often inspires greater respect than perfection ever could. People are drawn not to flawless facades, but to authentic lives lived with honesty and courage. As life moves forward, integrity becomes more than a personal value. It becomes our legacy. Every decision, every act of honesty, every moment of courage is a piece of that legacy. It is not something built at the end of our lives, but something we shape every day. While wealth fades, fame diminishes, and possessions disappear, the example of integrity endures. It is what people remember most when they think of us, the thread of truth that runs through the story of our lives. A legacy of integrity is woven into the lives of those we touch. The teacher who instills honesty in their students, the leader who chooses transparency, the friend who remains loyal. These individuals may never see the full impact of their actions, but their legacy ripples outward. Integrity multiplies itself, carried forward by those who witnessed it and inspired by it. In this way, it becomes less about one person and more about a lasting influence on the world. The truest measure of success is not found in what we accumulate, but in who we become. Integrity frees us from the chains of regret and offers peace at the end of the journey. While compromise leaves behind a trail of shame and broken trust, integrity leaves behind contentment. To look back on life and know we stayed true to what mattered most is one of the greatest achievements any person can reach. Building such a legacy is not always easy, but it is always worth it. The world may not always reward integrity in the short term, but over time it stands as the most enduring currency of all. It is the inheritance we give to others, one that cannot be spent or lost. It is a compass for the next generation, a map for those who will face their own tests of character. By choosing integrity today, we plant seeds of trust and respect that will grow far beyond our own lifetimes. In the end, the question is simple. What story will our lives tell? Will it be one of shortcuts and compromises, or one of strength and authenticity? The answer is written daily, in the small choices no one sees, in the acts of courage that cost us something, in the way we treat others when there is nothing to gain. Integrity gives us the chance to tell a story worth remembering. It shapes not only the life we live, but the legacy we leave behind. And that legacy, more than anything else, is what defines true success.